County convention, I'll do a quick overview of the convention. Jim, I'd like you to speak about the roles of district people, if you would, junior people. There were 208 attendees at the county convention, and as a result, the count for the district convention delegates is, Justin, current number of delegates?
We just got 5.
5 more today. Okay, so we have 157 delegates, which is our allotment for delegates to district convention. And we now have how many alternates? 7 alternates. If you're not signed up to go to district convention, please do so. Everyone signs up with complete intentions, full intentions of being able to attend. A lot of times things come up at district convention time, so if you're an alternate, please go ahead and attend because the opportunity for you to be a participant is quite good. So we'd like to have a full contingent of Linn County Republicans representing Linn County at district convention. The cost is $55, and I have a note up here on carpooling to convention. Mary, do you have anything to add about carpooling?
The reason I put carpooling is if you guys can help people get there, that would be great. Meet somewhere, and if you need someone a ride, email me, and I will try to blast it out on constant contact if this person would like a ride, if you guys can help out. But I'm trying to make sure that we can all get to convention, because it's really nice traveling with other people. We have a great time. Last district convention, I carpooled with the people, and we had a great time.
Okay. Is everyone, thank you, Mary. Is everyone getting your emails via constant contact in the minutes of the meeting or the notices?
Yes. No.
I'm looking at, is anybody not getting them? Okay.
I do have about 60 people that are getting bounced back. It's either I have the wrong email or something wrong.
Would you see Mary after the meeting, because a lot of times we're trying to read handwriting or we just, we transpose letters or something like that?
Please do not take yourselves off the email. There's a few precinct leaders that have taken themselves off and put do not email, so I have to figure a way to get the information.
Okay. So, all right, just to summarize, be sure to meet Mary afterwards, and we want to be sure to get that. That not only is a way for you to get information about us, but really there are times when we're trying to get information out to you as best we can, and constant contact is our best tool. Facebook is okay, but I'd much rather send there's some material that we put out on constant contact that we don't necessarily want to put on Facebook. Okay, so the minutes of the meeting come out via constant contact. And if you know people that are not getting it, tell them also to see us afterwards. Next, I'd like to have a report from those people that went to committee meetings prior to district. For Rules Committee, that was Jim Kaufman and Tim Pugh. Jim, you want to give a quick?
If I could just go at the end.
You can go at the end, okay. And next was Prudential's Janet Johnson and Emma Nemechek. Unfortunately, these two people were not in attendance. The executive committee met tonight, and we find that this is a serious problem that we didn't have representation from Linn County at the district committee level. And as a result, the executive committee has asked me to write a letter of reprimand to Emma and Janet, restricting them from subcommittee activities for the next 2 years. Okay?
Why? I would like to speak to this, and I would like adequate time to speak to this. Because that is the way that things are done. This is a ridiculous motion.
It's not a motion, actually it's a matter of executive committee decision.
Well, I would like to speak to this. I would like to...
You want to let me finish, then I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak. Okay? We had duly elected representatives at convention, nominated and elected, and we had no-shows. Not at the district level.
Point of information.
One moment, Janet is going to give Janet an opportunity to speak. Emmett will have an opportunity to speak also. But I want my point made clear. point is this. If you accept the nomination to represent Linn County, and you've heard me say this before, particularly when we're talking about other influences on the party from higher up. This is Linn County. We ought to act like, behave like, and be represented like Linn County. Now, Janet's going to get an opportunity to speak. I'm going to give her 5 minutes, and that's it. Janet, you can speak. And then, Emma, if you want to speak, you'll be given the same amount of time.
Doesn't point of information have priority?
Okay? Point of information. Yes.
Well, first of all, did this committee find out why they couldn't attend?
Yes.
They did find that out.
Yes.
Okay. Should we vote on this? No.
No.
I mean,
This is an action, not a motion.
so you can't, if there's a reason, a legitimate reason to not attend, that can't be excused?
I'm going to let Janet speak.
Okay. I'm just trying to be fair.
Okay, well, first of all, we were given no notice of this, so obviously we haven't had a chance to prepare any kind of comments other than just a little bit of a sense before the meeting began. So let me tell you that, first of all, we really enjoyed the credentials process at County. We had a fantastic team, and they did a fantastic job, and it was a pleasure and an honor to serve with them. And Emma and Althea and Candace and all of the ladies at the table, and Dee and some other people were here, and Cheryl. So, you know, it's a reasonable thing to, when you've had that kind of experience, to want to take that to the next level. And Emma and I did run for credentials team, and we did receive the nomination for that. I think I had every intention to go, and I just assumed that Emma and I would ride together. I didn't realize that she didn't know the date and the time, and I was thinking near the end of the week, gosh, we haven't set up our time to meet and things yet, so I emailed her on Wednesday night, and then I heard back on Friday morning. I had other obligations, I was out and about, but I picked up my email, and I learned Friday morning that she wasn't going, and she said, well, email Mary Ernson, and I thought, oh, maybe Mary Ernson's going for some reason. I don't know what the reasons the execs were, so I thought, okay, that'll work. So I emailed Mary Ernson. She returns my email, and I'm able to pick that up at 3 in the afternoon. She said the only help she could give me was that there was a carpool going, so I was to contact the carpool. So I did. I put out a contact for the carpool. I was out. I didn't return home until 10 or 11 o'clock that night. I hadn't heard back from them yet. So I thought, okay, probably they haven't either picked up their email. They haven't probably heard yet from me, so I'm going to hear in the morning. I did not hear. I started thinking it's probably too late to arrange other things, but I have had electrical problems with my car recently. I have friends. I can have them verify. They've been out there with flashlights looking down at night when my car wouldn't start. I was at Walmart a week or two ago, and my car wouldn't start. I came out nothing. And I had an injury to my knee that I've been in therapy for, and, you know, just throughout the day I can put some weight on it, but to walk any kind of distance would be really difficult, and I was very nervous about the prospect of driving up there on my own. And I didn't know the area, and I really did not want to get caught out somewhere where I really wasn't in a position to take care of myself, get somewhere safe. And I realized at some point I was thinking, oh, I can get some of the people from Iowa City, and it's like, no, they cut the district. And I know those people, I thought, well, probably there's somebody I can catch from there. But, and I did have obligations in the afternoon. The platform people I might have been able to catch a ride with, but they would have been there all night. And I just found myself in an untenable situation. And I didn't know what to do. And the time passed. And I have been part of credentials at the state and the district before. Those meetings are generally pretty short. They're pretty procedural. You know, they decide things like what are the land use going to look like, what are the credentials going to look like. They might decide who's going to go around and collect and in the end tally up the, you know, who did what and make the credentials report and things. But it is something that you can catch up on and be caught up on. And we've already initiated that process for that to begin through the State Central Committee member and through Ryan Gooch at the Republican Party of Iowa to make remedial efforts. And I did not want to miss that meeting, and I felt badly. And I would hope that you would not agree that a concern over a poorly functioning electrical system in a car is a caution that I should override. But I would also say if we are going to elevate this kind of a breakdown in communication and ability to get somewhere to this kind of a level, then we need to be fair. Let me first say that there's a couple of maxims that come to my mind. One is to err is human, but to forgive is divine. And the other is the house divided against itself shall not stand. Now, Steve, I know that you have wanted to set a different tone in this committee and not divide this committee against itself. I know that was your stated objective. I think this is a highly divisive kind of a thing, but if you, as a committee, are not going to agree to live by those kind of principles, then I would say let us live equally on whatever principles you're choosing, which means we are going to bring every error that we have seen to the light. We are going to address it, and we are going to consider the proper consequences. And I will say that we will need to set aside a large amount of time, because even as I stand here, there are things that have bothered me and have concerned me that I have not made a large platform for, but that could certainly be addressed, and that will have to be the way that this committee goes if we are going to have any integrity whatsoever. Thank you.
You can apply.
Thanks for this opportunity. First of all, I'd like to apologize to Ben Lang that he invited me for the parade, and I told him I cannot come. John Archer also, remember I didn't show up, right, at the parade. I did not show up at the parade. And John Archer wants me to sit down with him. I wasn't able to do that. I was at an autism event, a fundraising. I was in charge of feeding 150 people. And I have ordered cakes ahead of time. This was planned a month in advance. I was involved with the Linn County Credential team. Never miss a meeting, never. Even if it's too cold. I didn't realize that they're gonna do a district on that Saturday, last Saturday. I've always been involved in I was involved in the district convention last time, but we were involved in the food. So it's not really like we have to travel. That was the old district convention. That was way, way long time ago at the Wilson School. So I was involved in that. And I have every intention to attend. I just didn't know that it's going to be this Saturday. And even if I knew that that was last Saturday, I have a word to these autistic kids. I told them that I'm going to be there to help out. As a matter of fact, it was a good thing too. I was able to get 4 people to join the district convention that they want to be able to be involved. This is the only thing. I've been involved in so many things in the Linn County, from the gun show to the naturalization. And again, I'm telling the truth. I'm not asking for your sympathy, people. I want to get as busy as I can. I try to help every candidate that I can. I have a credibility in most people here, except for the ones that's anti-Emma. I don't have credibility with them. I try to be busy because you know what? I don't really want to say this, but I guess I'm going to say this, not to ask for your sympathy. I wanted to get busy. Some of the people here knew about it. They found a lump on my left breast, okay? And my doctor was saying, just take it easy for the next 2 weeks. And I said, yes, I just want to get busy. Get myself busy with, I was at the county convention very early in the morning, 6:15 in the morning. You were there to help out, because I don't want to think about my health. I want to be able to help Republicans get elected. I think we need to grow up and support and appreciate each other and work together for the common good, right? That's it.
Thank you.
Point of order. Okay, I would like to ask this action, whatever it is, be suspended until the Constitution constitutionality of it can be verified and established by the Sanctions
Point of
Committee and the
information.
Republican Party of Iowa. That is the same as challenging the chair.
That's a
I'm not-
motion, that's not a,
That
that's
is
not
a
a point of order.
okay.
No.
All right, that's not a motion, because you can challenge the chair, and challenging the chair is not a motion. So it may not be a point of order, I'm not sure what it's called. But I would like to formally challenge the decision until we have had a chance to have it looked at
Are you calling for a motion?
I'm not calling for a motion.
Okay.
To challenge the chair does not require a motion.
Okay, what I'd like is a motion, and stated as a motion, that the chair is being challenged on this issue.
So can we please have a parliamentary rule on this?
Okay.
I move that the chair is being challenged.
Okay.
Point of privilege,
Okay.
I feel that these two people have done a tremendous job. They did a tremendous job at the Linn County Convention. I feel that this is overkill and it is highly divisive. Republicans sometimes are known not to have a heart, and this is an example. We don't want to kill babies, but we want to treat people like garbage sometimes, and that's why the majority of the people don't like Republicans, because we do stuff like this. It is overkill. This is ridiculous.
I'm not sure what the motion is right now, so as a point of privilege, I would like to hear from the people that did not get to represent us. Oh, that's right, we didn't send alternates, I'm sorry. So I hear compassion, and I hear what this body is saying. I have been in a very tough position like you are, Steve. What I understand the executives are saying is that these people will just be barred from running for these kind of offices for 2 years. I apologize to anybody that understands that this sounds cold-hearted, but the realities are very simple for our body.
Well,
If these people are going to run for these offices, we need to have that representation, or they have to have alternates.
okay. There is a motion on the floor to table the suspensions or table the reprimands, as I have written them, that were discussed and ordered at the executive committee level. Discussion.
Point of information,
Yes.
doesn't tabling it in essence put it off forever unless you get 2/3 of the vote to approve it to come back in? And if that's the case, then I would move that we do not table it, because in essence, that's
I
just
think
getting rid of it.
I think the request was to suspend it. It wasn't tabled. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
Jim?
Me?
Yes.
My name's Craig.
Craig, I'm sorry, Craig.
You know, we didn't do this right in the first place, because we should have known that this possibility would have occurred, and so we should have nominated alternates also. So this is actually procedural problems, and it's actually our fault for not doing that.
John Habel?
Yes. We heard from one person who said that they knew a month in advance that they were committed to something else this weekend. They should not have run for the position.
Okay.
The other person claimed about tar issues and health issues. My question is, was that in effect the day of the election, or did that happen after the election?
Okay.
Because if it was in effect the day of the election, then maybe they should not have run as well.
Well, so I'm being addressed.
One moment, Don has the floor. I'll come to you, Janet.
But
Just point of information, was the date of the upcoming credential committee meeting known?
No.
And made public before the
Yes.
election was held?
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
Were the candidates?
Yes, it was,
David Chung.
where's Brent go? Brent chaired it. I believe it was announced at the convention time, the date and times, and it was in the, I believe it was in the newspaper, if I'm not mistaken.
Point of information.
One moment, Janet's next. Excuse me, John, Janet?
Okay, let me reiterate so we can make this clear. Yes, I knew that I had heart problems, and yes, I have had a knee injury. That is why I was planning to carpool with someone, and that is why when the carpool arrangement fell through, and I had less than 24 hours, and it was less than, I don't know, 19 hours or whatever to try to arrange something. That is why I tried to arrange something. That is why I was planning the carpool. You've heard the call go out that certain people carpool if you don't have a car you'd like to take out of town for various reasons. That's why people carpool. I had every intention of going, and I had every intention of carpooling. Now, let me say something. If this is a little exaggeration, but if someone were in a car accident on the way to a district meeting, would this kind of censure come? I mean, at what point do you call this not severe enough? To use common sense, not to put yourself in a hazardous situation, I do not think calls for censure. If someone had a heart attack on the way, would you say, oh, you're barred for 2 years? Because no matter what, you didn't represent us. There are
You're not barred.
circumstances.
Point of clarification. We're not saying you can't participate. We're not saying you can't vote. All we're saying is you can't chair committees. That's all we're saying. You can still vote. You're still a elected precinct committee person at this. Ken, let me tell you something. I'm going to speak off the cuff here. I respect all the work you have done. Both of you.
I don't know.
Both of you. You've done a lot of work for the Republican Central Committee, but at some point, as chair, I want to be represented a district. All right? And I didn't think enough went on to get us represented a district. Now, I may be out of line here, but that's really how I feel. You did a lot of work on credentials. You did good work, and I appreciate that. That doesn't say that you don't represent us, because you were elected by a group of 188 delegates that met at the Clarion. Their voice needs to be heard also. So
Let's say I had a flat tire on the way there.
I'm not going to go there. I'm simply not going to go there.
It sounds
John?
like there is a point of reason.
Okay, we're in the point of reason. Sir, I'm going to take one more, and I'd like to move on.
So Dave Anderson,
Yeah, Dave?
CR18, is there a second on the motion?
Yes.
Yes, that was right
There was a
here.
second on the motion.
Second on the motion.
Yes.
Acknowledge who the second is, just so we
And by the way, the motion was not as you stated it. You need to state the motion as he stated it.
It was the motion was that, it can be suspended, the reprimand will be suspended.
No, it wasn't. Would you say your motion again?
I just made a motion
He
that
wanted
the
a
chair was
formal challenge
challenged.
of the chair.
Challenge of the chair.
Nothing, did he say nothing about suspension?
Right.
Okay.
I'm not an official parliamentarian.
I'm not either.
To challenge the chair, there has to be a decision made by the chair. What I heard the chair and the secretary say is that the chair and the executive, at their executive meeting, is going to send a letter of reprimand. There were 3 people that actually missed that day. We haven't gotten to this class.
We're going to get to the next one,
I
yeah.
understand that those letters of reprimand are not from this body, they're from the executive. So there would have to be a motion to request the executive to not send this letter. There's nothing to challenge that was decided here.
Robin?
Craig has the right to appeal your decision. And the word is appeal under challenging the ruling of the chair. However,
I didn't actually make a ruling. So let's move. I want to be close enough that we don't.
and if you
Butcher
want to
from the
resolve,
rules.
well, if you want to resolve, one of the things that is recommended, and I'm looking at the condensed version, but it states this. Shall the decision of the chair be sustained, talks about that, but more importantly, it talks about this.
Point of order.
The chair,
I was called upon, and then you took that gentleman's, and skipped me completely, and you essentially called me.
Okay. I'm going to call John next.
can I make one statement?
No, John's next. I'll come back to you, Robin. And then I would like to, I'm in the same, I'm not in the same spot. I'm in the same spot as other previous chairs. Yeah. There's a motion on the floor. John, did you want to speak?
Yeah.
Discussion?
Yeah, we're the new kid in the block in District 1. We're the largest county, and I witnessed the one person get in Jim's face and put spittle on him, chastising him for not having anybody represent Linn County. It just says to Black Hawk County, to Dubuque County, to all these smaller counties that we can do whatever we want and we don't care. And that's not the kind of message we need to be sending when we're the new kid in the block.
I would like to respond to that. How come
And
we were not?
please let me finish.
All right, I cannot know you were finished, you trailed off. Please do not yell.
So, when they have,
Just a moment, John Bennington, Robin Tucker, and then we're gonna have a vote on this, and we're gonna move on.
I don't volunteer for things when I know I can't do it because I don't have gas, I don't have this or that. If I have a vehicle that's not safe to travel with, I won't volunteer for it, especially when there's only 2 people representing them. Okay, and we gotta drive to Cedar Falls. David Chunk got up and announced that we will be meeting Saturday in Cedar Falls. So it was announced there by David Chunk. He has a loud voice. If you didn't hear him, well, that's your problem because everyone else did.
Robin?
You as the chair should state clearly the question at issue, and if necessary, the reasons for your decision, and then state the question this way. The question is, shall the decision of the chair be to sustain?
Okay.
I think in the way I look at Robert's Rules of Order, I would restate, as I said, the question at issue, if necessary, the reasons for the decision, and then state the question this way. Should it be sustained?
Point of order.
Yeah.
Point of information. No, wait. He has a point of information. Did you call him? Yeah, I called him. He has a point of information.
Janet?
You have a point of information on this.
There's a point of
Ian?
information.
I thought yours was a point.
Yours was a
He
point
has
of
a point of information.
Order comes before information.
I just want to ask a question. Why can't we have alternates to these positions? I mean, just have the runner-up for the election be an alternate, so if we have something like a flat tire or a heart attack or something, why can't we do that?
I think we can. We're not discussing, that's not part of the discussion right now. Janet?
This is not a point of information, this is just a question to go along with the discussion. Why was I not provided with information of contact, or someone I could contact that district, or something to come up? There was no way to contact anyone, I had no information to contact anyone that day. I should have provided with that.
Excuse me, Ken. Ken was in here, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, there is no motion, there is a motion on the floor, and we do need to wrap up. Yes, there's a motion to suspend the reprimand
No, that's
of
not
the...
the motion.
No, they said there's no motion on the floor.
No, would you restate your motion, please?
Yeah, one moment.
I would like to move that, this be suspended until we can,
But that wasn't your motion.
I know, but they know what my previous motion was. I would like to move that this be suspended until we can really think about it and really talk about it, because this is going to be very hurtful, and we could lose 2 valuable people to this central committee.
All right, there's a motion, do I have a second?
John Thomas, one. I just want to know, was this a unanimous decision by the executive committee, and the executive committee had any other alternate reprimand to hand out besides what was decided to
It was unanimous, yes. And no, there were no other reprimands discussed. Thank you.
The motion he earlier proposed was different from the one he just did, and it was never seconded.
All right, we still don't have a second. Second, discussion.
Are you going to go with the original motion or this one? I'm confused.
We just made a motion.
Seeing no discussion, all in favor? The motion is to suspend the reprimand recommended by the executive committee.
That was never moved.
You did, it was moved, yes, it was moved. We have a second?
I don't think you're in order, Chair. I think you have to do this in the fashion that you want to sustain what you brought up in your presentation. I don't believe that, voting on this motion, you need to vote on whether what you brought up should be sustained or not.
Point of personal privilege, I'd like to do a slight recession so that we could converse off to the sides with Mr. Tucker and anybody else that wants to come up and talk about parliamentary rules.
Okay. We'll take a 5-minute break.
Thank you.
The chair has been challenged. Please be seated.
Yes, I did.
And I don't mind. Please be seated.
Point of privilege?
Come on, I'm speaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give it a moment. We have discussed our position with the executive committee. I'll make this point. Anytime anyone accepts us and is nominated and elected by a convention of the Linn County Republicans, I ask that you be sure you can do it. I have been challenged and I accept because I may have violated two people's due process. And as Republicans, we value that. I'm still not a happy camper. But the executive committee is going to meet again. We're going to discuss this. We're going to allow Emma, Janet, and Aaron to come to speak to us. We'll make a decision, and we'll follow through on that decision. Thank you.
Point of privilege? Thank you for having a heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Excuse me, what time is it?